If it's Monday, it's time for the UD Awards National Series presented by Slingshot Racing League. My name is Johnny Rapp alongside Justin Wilson in the Slingshot TV booth. Tonight we head to Daytona for our season opener, the UD Awards Daytona 150. In the heart of Florida, where sun and speed collide, Daytona International Speedway was born in 1959. This masterpiece emerged from the sands of the beach, an ambitious project to create a haven for racing's titans. The track is so big, engineers had to take into account the curvature of the earth when building it. You can find all sorts of racing action at the famed World Center of Racing, including the Rolex 24 Supercross races and most notably the Daytona 500. Winners such as Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, and Benny Parsons only add to the legacy of the Great American Race. So, Justin, last season we saw Chris Smith dominate these plate tracks by winning the preseason clash at Daytona as well as our sixth race. Alright, finally, we are here. If it's Monday, we are experiencing technical difficulties, and we will get through it, but this is Johnny Rapp for Justin Wilson in the Slingshot TV booth tonight. Race number one of the UD Awards National Series, the UD Awards Daytona 150 from Daytona International Speedway. We are already past qualifying and just about to set the grid here. And yeah, thank you for staying with us here as we get this all figured out. But we should be good to go now. And before we move into our grid, we're just going to go over. We're just going to go over a couple quick pre-race stories. We got track position, drafting partners, pit stops, and avoid the big one. Track position is going to be key tonight. Drafting partners, it's always good to have a teammate, especially at the end of this race. You're going to need some help to get up front. And yeah, 2 and 3 wide action. It's going to be interesting. And that goes right into pit stops where you're going to see, hey, you got to pit with your team to be able to have the draft and get back out there and make up as much time as you can. Try to do the overcut or the undercut, whatever one works. And then, yeah, final point is going to be avoid the big one. We know it's going to happen. These cars are squirrely when you're bumping. And, yeah, it's going to be about putting yourself in the best place to avoid that chaos.
Avoid the big one, Johnny. Where are we at? Daytona? I'm gonna tell you what, man, I'm definitely excited to see these ARCA cars here, our first race of the season. I'm a huge fan of this draft package with these ARCA cars that iRacing's brought for us. Makes for some exciting racing. But big one, yes, it's out there. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, these cars do get a little squirrely, but they are very stable and they have those big runs. So these guys mind their P's and Q's early on in this race. I expect to see some long green flag runs.
Yeah, I think we will. And yeah, before we do anything, we got to set the grid here. If you want to take us through the top 10 starting order.
Of course, I would love to, but you have starting on pole. I don't want to massacre his name, but that's Zach Roethlisberger. Did I say that right? I'm gonna have to talk to the man to make sure that's right. P2 on his outside. Chris Smith with a 51.048. Steve Fest in that number 60 fast qualifier today, starting third. Thomas Bergeron, Johnny's favorite, starting fourth place. Braxton DeWeest P5. Lee Campbell in P6. Nick Desiree in 7th. Ellis Thomas in 8th. Matt Kuntz, good to see Matt Kuntz here tonight. In 9th with Rye Jones in 10th place on his outside.
Yeah, moving on from there, we're going to see Jacob Nickerson in 11th place in at number 35. Then we have Laura Wiseman in the 84 starting 12th. Robert Probst in number 5 starting 13th with Benson Weaver to his outside. We have Nathan Gentry in number 10 starting 15th. Jacob Phelps at number 56, 16th tonight. Randy Gross starting 17th. Alongside Brian Probst, our Cup Series winner of the first race. So we'll see if he can double down at Daytona here. Then back from there, we have Paul Thomas and Devin Rowe rounding out the top 20.
Yeah, finishing them off, we got Zachary Mitchell. He's starting 21st with Cam Gillens in 22nd. And our non-qualifiers, ignore the 58 that you see on there. That's, you know, I showed up and they told me no. You got Chase Berry, James Danforth, Ryan Hinkle, and Tony Caputo. They are going to be our non-qualifiers. I mean, no surprise seeing Chase Berry not qualifying. We are doing an extra pace lap. We were trying to get all of our bearings straight here. So while we're taking the one to go here, Johnny, who's your pick for tonight? I mean, that's a hard question. That's a hard question on a track like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard to beat Chris Smith. I mean, hey, even Chase. We always see Chase at the end of these plate races getting up there. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's going to be all about teamwork, I think. But right at the end of this thing, who knows what can happen? Anybody can win it, but if I was a betting man, I would say that Chris Smith or Chase or Braxton would be the top contenders.
Well, it's based off of, you know, these kind of previous seasons as well, right? Ryan Jones, he's generally very aggressive at these tracks to try to get up front and be up there. Zachary Mitchell is another one. He likes to get up there and kind of move his way to the front as quickly as possible. But he's got a feat because he's starting 21st tonight. Looking out for those two. But you know what? I'm going to keep an eye on that 38 tonight, man. He hasn't had the luck that he needs at these super speedways, and I think tonight that's going to turn around.
Yeah, very well could. We are heading down the backstretch now, getting ready to go green. That pole sitter of Zach Roethlisberger used to run with us in Spark a little while ago, and yeah, finally coming back now that we switched over to Slingshot. So his first start with us under this name. We'll see how he's able to do on this initial start, and who's going to control this race. Big shout out to Steve Vest. He's been getting way better at these qualifying at the plate tracks, and hey, starting P3 here, that's very impressive.
My apologies there. So yeah, we're coming out of turn 4 here. We're going to start this season off with a bang here at Daytona. Zach in that number 4 machine is waiting on the flagman to wave it for the first time this season, and he does. Great launch on the inside, but I'm going to tell you what, that outside, Chris Smith, keeping an eye on that 28, side by side as they're going off into turn 1. Nobody's made a move yet. We're all still sitting. We're all still double file going into 1, which you kind of like to see once they get this momentum up. But I would definitely like to see, because one thing about these cars is if you get a good couple of cars lined up on that outside, it is almost impossible to kind of hold off that outer line and the momentums that they get off the corner, but they have to build up that momentum. And as you can see, Chris Smith on that outside's already lost about 3 or 4 spots because he has Thomas Bergeron not quite pushing them as they need to, and they're just that top line slowly already falling back 1 lap into this.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see that inside with all the momentum. Chris Smith really falling back there, and I'm trying to get a good look at this 13 car. Yeah, Matt Kuntz on the inside there, trying to follow that inside line pass. It looks like up front here, Braxton Deweese is going to make a move on Steve Vest for 2nd place.
Yeah, that's a good looking ride from that number 60 he brought here. Whoa, Zach with that aggressive lane change. Braxton said, no, thank you. I'm going to go to the bottom. Just crosses right over. So, oh, we got a wreck in the back. Who is this? We got a car off into the grass. I missed the number as they were going by. Looks like the 31 of Randy. Yeah, Randy Gross gets sent off into the grass. No yellow. May have to go back and take a quick look at what happened.
Yeah, let us, if we got these side by side, we can do that, or I can go back and get it too.
Of course, we have the side by side, man. What do you think this is? We rookies?
Here we go.
You can see here it's kind of
on the back stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, blue car here on the inside. You see the little bit of a checkup. Him and Paul Thomas, they square up. Vince Weaver's loose in the middle, and he sends it off into the grass. But hands off to that 31 machine, gets it gathered up. And he, no damage on the car, kept it going straight. Granted, he is going to lose the draft, but he's banking on a yellow. He needs one.
Yeah, definitely an incredible save nonetheless. And yeah, I mean, even, hey, if you get stuck out and you lose a lap, at least he didn't end up wrecked in the pits, right? So,
oh, without a doubt. But while that was all happening, Braxton Deweese did take the lead of this race. He has Zach there and Roethlisberger right there on the outside. Chris Smith pushing that 4 machine. Chris is very good at these draft tracks, and as you can see, he's just keeping pace with that inside line. Just giving just enough of the push to keep him there, as well as keeping that car cool.
Yeah, that's the thing I've never been very good at, is just being able to stick that nose out a little bit to cool off the front of the car. And man, it's a talent, it's an acquired taste, and Chris Smith is very good at it. You see that line up there is seeming to work right now, with a little bit of a gap between Braxton and Steve. Steve kind of picks it back up. He gets back to the bumper of Braxton, and they're going to challenge back forward on the inside line.
Yeah, I've always had just kind of a love for super speedways, doing these races. You get to see them a couple times a year. It's always a lot of fun. I enjoy, believe it or not, running super speedways, whether we wreck or finish. They just, you think, anybody can win the race, and that is true. But at the same time, there is an art to this. There is an art to this racing. You have to know when to push, how to push somebody, when to make that change in lane, how to work together as a team. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a whole new element to to oval racing, and yeah, definitely it takes some skill. People say it's all luck. It's not all luck. It definitely takes some skill. There's a little bit of luck involved. Don't get me wrong, but you have to be there for the luck to work.
Well, that's the thing too, right? You can get lucky and win this race, and those guys that do win, you see them with like 1, maybe even 2 wins at a super speedway, right? Yeah, we can chalk it as luck, sure, but when those guys have 4, 5, 6, 7 wins at super speedways, it's not luck, right? I mean, Chris Smith pretty much sweeping super speedways last season, right? That's not luck. That's talent.
It absolutely is, and man, this has been an incredible race up here in the front, side by side. Still, we're working lap number 6 of 60 here, and yeah, you can throw a blanket over the pretty much the entire field. I mean,
yeah, they're being very, very cautious, right? Nobody's really quite forcing any moves. Everyone's kind of minding their P's and Q's, logging these laps. You know, these drivers do have to make a pit stop in this race. So I think the racing's really going to amplify once that first set of pit stops happen.
Yeah, that's definitely when all of the preparation plays out, you know. But yeah, real quick, while we're kind of doing this, we haven't had a chance yet to talk about our giveaway for tonight. Yeah,
right.
we're going to be picking from active chatters tonight. One lucky chatter is going to win one of these what's it, like a trading card pack, you know? It's a pretty cool deal, something new that Slingshot TV is doing. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. We'll announce the winner at the end of the race once we're done with interviews and all that stuff. So stick around and get in that chat.
Well, I would like to say that currently I'm the number one in the chat. Does that mean I get to win?
Oh, a little bit of a moment back there for Ellis Thomas, Jacob Phillips.
Yeah, I think Ellis saw something that he did not like and opted to pull that off to the inside and let these guys have it. He probably saw that 3 wide that was happening because Thomas Bergeron kind of got put on that outside line. Oh, we got a wreck in the pack on the turn. Excuse me, what? I'm lost. Where are we at? Turn 2. Here we go. Oh, Thomas Bergeron upside down. Flip count, number 1 of the season already. Looks like Zachary Mitchell's involved. Paul Thomas, which is a bummer because those drivers were in the second pack. I'm unsure how they weren't able to clear the crash. We'll definitely have to go back and take a look because that second pack was way behind this incident.
Yeah, we're looking here. Thomas all the way up top of 3 wide.
Oh, Cam Gillens.
A little contact with Cam Gillens. Yeah, huge impact for that number 86. And yeah.
Tony Caputo, Zach Mitchell, they thought that they were safe going down to the apron, but Bergeron's car down the banking, right? It's this steep banking, all the cars, they wash up and then they wash right back down. And yeah, they just did not anticipate that car going down there. And yeah, both of them heavy damage. Another car looked like got a lot of damage was Jacob Phillips. I think he lost his whole front end in that accident as well. Lots of damage.
Back a little bit, seeing this wreck kind of just develop right ahead of Paul Thomas here, and yeah, it looked like he was going to start to go high, and he just misjudged it.
He was gonna go high. Yeah, that's a bummer. He probably second guessed himself, and generally, when you second guess yourself, is generally when you get involved. But oh yeah, that sent Bergeron flying through the air.
You mentioned Jacob Phillips here, that 56 running around, but I'll tell you what, that car is not going to be overheating because there's plenty of air getting into the radiator. You know, but
I don't see that much damage on Paul Thomas's car. Like he's got his front end. It looks like he doesn't even have any damage on it. I'm kind of maybe he got lucky here with this. I mean, look at that car. Considering how hard he hit Thomas Bergeron, the car doesn't look too bad. I mean, look at, the 10 and the 56, their whole front ends are completely gone. And yeah, I think Paul Thomas may have a break. We'll have to see how long he's on pit road here.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at our pit battle. I'm not sure if any of the leaders came down. Yeah, it looks like they did. Zach Mitchell, Zach Roethlisberger, and
all of them came down for fuel, which is very smart. I mean, you never know, just kind of the vibe of that run. We only had a few drivers that stayed out, and those of Jacob Nickerson, looks like Cam Gillens, Zachary Mitchell, and Devin Rowe are the only drivers that stayed out. Let's see if they pit after, but yeah, I mean, that was a good, 4 or 5 car pileup there, lap 9, pretty early on.
Yeah, not what we expected to see. It was kind of a tame race up until then, but excuse me. Yeah, that 3 wide action was just a little bit too much to handle there, and yeah, we're gonna have to re-rack them and yeah, see how these strategies start to play out. I'm not sure. We didn't get a fuel number beforehand here, but
usually it's around 30-ish, 35, 32. I mean, that's honestly just me taking a wild guess, but most times it's around there. I mean, we're pretty close. I think these drivers probably did come down pit road mostly because they may have just needed that little more to make it to halfway. So now it puts us pretty close. So one thing
Yeah,
too, Johnny, and those watching, and any first time watcher, or I guess watchers, I guess we could say that for our league. So we do have race control. Randy is in our race control. He's up there in the booth. He monitors pretty much anything right between black flags and incidents. So one of the things we do have is if you do cause an incident, you do get an EOL penalty. So it's not like, normal NASCAR where you can just, clean somebody out and be all right. But and here we try to promote that clean racing. So if drivers do get collected, they do get involved in a wreck, they do review it. They find a deem a driver at fault, right? That driver does go to the end of the line. So just want to throw that in there. So if you see one of your drivers get moved back to the back, it probably got penalized for something.
yeah, Randy with that thankless job of being a race controller, we really appreciate it. He does a great job of it. It's not
Oh
an
yeah.
easy task at all. And yeah, you'll definitely see that. We have some new rules in place this year. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. Up front here, we have the two cars that stayed out, two or three. And yeah, right now it's going to be Jacob Nickerson choosing the outside, it looks like, for the restart as the leader. And then Zachary Mitchell is going to be right next to him.
Yeah, it looks like most of the drivers did come back down pit road, minus the two on the front row. Who was that? That was I'm mistaken. No, the top three. No, I thought there was four this data. Anyway, you know what? Let's move on. It's been a long night already, and we're only 12 laps in.
Yeah, they are re-racked again here. We're going to ride on board the back bumper of Jacob Nickerson here to see how this restart goes and see if he can get a good enough jump to maybe hop down to that bottom line.
Yeah, Jacob Nickerson with that thirst trap a dirty soda. I've never heard of that soda, but I am interested. Chooses the outside here, which is a bit unusual for Daytona, but he's in control. Takes a huge launch, man. He may have gotten too far out there, but we'll have to see as the rest of the field bunches up to gain that momentum. Yeah, he's got a good 4 or 5 car lengths right now. Braxton Deweese and that 4 of Zach Roethlisberger have already joined up, and yeah, they're gaining on him quick. As you can see, the high line. That right there shows why you don't want to get too far out at the beginning of these things, because he is going to the back quickly now as everyone on the outside is just powering by.
Yeah, from first to sixth in just a straightaway, and still dropping fast from there. But hey, it looks like he's
they got the momentum
up to
gathered.
Matt Coos there in 13, and he's going to stay in the pack, so that's good.
Yeah, Braxton dipped down low, and it pretty much just left Zach up there, and he's getting kind of falling back to the clutches of Benson Weaver here with Ryan Jones. You know how fast that 91 is, and he's going to tuck in behind Benson there. So we got kind of a little 3-car tandem up here on the outside. Let's see if they get that run. Another driver that's been in, a streak of good luck between the series and even towards the end of the last season. Laura Wiseman in that 84. See her in that Kyle Petty kind of themed car back there, running fourth in that outside line. We saw if I'm not mistaken, it was the Clash, right? Got the pole at the Clash. Had quite a few top fives, a podium last season. 84 has been finding some speed week in and week out.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, probably one of the most improved drivers since joining the league here, and yeah, outside of the bad luck she had last season, really she had a solid performance, and yeah, hoping to see her capitalize on that this season. And yeah, strong runs so far. Laura is used to these plate tracks from the Road and Plate series. Dustin Bally runs that. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, I mean, hey, you've raced there before. That's a blast. But it's either you're racing at Daytona or Talladega, or you're going to Sebring or
Yeah.
some random track in Europe or something. Who knows? But
Without a doubt. But yeah, man, thanks everybody again for tuning in. And like I said, we know we had a little bit of a late start there, but yeah, that giveaway tonight with that trading card. Please, please, please throw us in there. We're going to try to highlight as many as we can. We got John Rapp in the chat, Chris DeWeese. I don't know who Trees Nuts is, but you know what? He's saying, let's go, Phillips, number 56. That 56 did have quite a bit of damage. We'll definitely have to check back in on him and see how he's able to hold up, if he's able to, but he's out there running by himself right now with no front end on the car over there in turn 2. So tough break for the 56 tonight, but hey, he's a trooper. He's hanging in there.
got a big change up front. Benson Weaver with that move to the inside is going to assume the lead with the help of Braxton DeWeese and put that number 1 into P1.
And we got that 0-0 with that Icon machine running third right there behind Braxton DeWeese. He's made his way up through the field. I mean, started kind of 7th, a little close, but right now, biggest mover, right? Your leader of this race, Benson Weaver, started 14th tonight. He's already made his way to the lead. Lap 17 on. Ooh, a little bit of a check up there on that outside line between Ryan Jones and 4. Unsure if that 91 kind of just got unsettled going into 3, but they've completely broken away.
Yeah, it's going to allow that inside line to inch forward and a little space between them and Roethlisberger on the outside. But yeah, they're coming back with that head of steam. We'll see if they're able to get back side by side for the lead as they were earlier. Oh, we got a car really slow up on the wall. I believe that is the 10 of Nathan Gentry.
Wow, yeah, that was very, very scary moment there for a bit. Yeah, right now his top speed is only 150 on that car. A little dangerous in my opinion. But he did get up out of the way, so we'll see what race control deems that quick enough.
Yeah, still same old story up here. He talked a little bit about him, but Nick DeCesare up here in the 0-0. Yeah, long-time Slingshot driver from back in the day, making his way back over here now into the ARCA series, and good to see him back, and that's a sharp-looking ride. The Harbor Freight Icon 0-0 running third on the inside line there.
Yeah, Harbor Freight, one of my favorite stores, man. Ooh. Everything you need in that store. And cheap.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I'll tell you. It's they finally opened one near me. I go there quite often.
Oh, yeah. I religiously go to that store. You know, working at the race car home and you need, like, specific, you know, they have all kinds of, like, car parts, man. Or, well, not the parts, but, like, our tools. And it's great. It's great. And it's cheap. You know, quality's great, too. Here we are talking about Harbor Freight. We're not sponsored by Harbor Freight.
We got that push from Rye Jones is going to send Zach Roethlisberger back out to the lead on the outside line. We'll see if he clears and if he elects to take the bottom to control that inside line. It looks like he's going to stay up top. That outside line is really rolling right now.
Yeah, it's definitely staying fairly tame, but I mean, the last time we said that we did have an incident, but trying to look too, we do have, you know, I always love talking about our second pack that we have as Ryan Jones moves to the outside in front of Laura there for the lead. Chase Berry, James Danforth, Ryan Hinkle, and Randy Gross. Remember, Randy had that incident through the grass. And Paul Thomas. These guys are kind of in train. You see them there, back there in the tri-oval right now. They're just
maybe we can do a little side by side. We can share that second pack and the lead pack together, and because the battle is still on up here. We see Laura go down to the bottom, trying to help out Ryan Jones, and then Zach Roethlisberger back up to the top, trying to make that momentum work.
Oh yeah, these drivers back here. Oh, I guess
We have lost the side-by-side.
Ah, well, we'll get it figured out. But yeah, not too much going on back here. Just guiding single file, just minding their business. I think these guys are anticipating another little incident before this is over with, and they'll be in the right spot to miss it.
Here he is, the plate track warrior himself, defending ARCA Series plate track winner and defending champion, Chris Smith. Makes that move underneath of Roethlisberger for the lead. He's going to have the help of Ryan Jones on the bottom. Robert Brooks from out of nowhere on the outside.
They're rapidly catching this lap car of Jacob Phillips. Not to cut you off, you see a front end completely missing, but he's going to opt to take the bottom. Everyone's going to have to go around the outside. Looks like they do. Yeah, I was tensed up there because that's another driver running a little bit faster than a 10 car, but not much faster.
Yeah, he's now got sole possession of that outside line with the help of his cousin Brian Brooks behind him. And we'll see if they're able to get this momentum. Maybe try to make a move on Roethlisberger as he comes up to block. But
yeah, we got the two purple machines on that bottom line there, Ryan Jones and Chris Smith. It almost seems like everybody on the bottom line, like 2 laps ago, were on the outside. It's like the lines have just completely swapped over.
Yeah, it makes you think. I mean, I know like handling probably isn't too much of a big deal, but maybe it's a little more comfortable down there on the bottom. I know I always like to run down there because if something happens, you got the escape route to the left instead of a wall, But
it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because I'm completely opposite. I feel like I like the top line. Now, granted, if there's a wreck, you're hosed, right? Like you said. But I feel like I can control the race running the outside. Because if especially if you're the guy pushing that outside, because you can really push and just stay paced with that inside line, and you don't have to worry about burning. You can cool your car off a lot more than you can running the bottom. At least for me.
Yeah. It all depends on how much room the car in front of you gives you to the wall for you to be able to step out. But yeah, definitely, it's the way to make moves for sure. We see Chris Smith's going to move up there.
Yeah, that outside line is definitely fast. Because these drivers are, they're testing it out now, right? Making these moves, trying to find out where they're most comfortable, but they're going to find what lane is going to be the strongest at the end of this race. And, I think a lot of these drivers are strategizing right now. Learning.
Yeah, the other thing is you really got to start. Now is the time. It seems like we're going to have a little bit of a green flag run. You got to find your dance partners for the pit stop, You got to search through, see the people that you can draft well with, and get linked up and get in communications. Make sure you pit on the same lap and don't make any mistakes.
Well, that's the big thing. You have to pit either the same lap, or be out, not pit with somebody. Oh, man, here I am talking. I'm messing this all up. You either need to pit with the pack, or if you're going to stay out, you are linked with somebody and pit the following lap. You don't want to miss the opportunity of being in the main pack, because one lap back here, one lap around this track, you think wouldn't hurt you as much, but it does. It'll put you a second back and out of the main draft easily if you don't get these pit stops correctly.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine-tuned thing, and yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. But right now, Chris Smith still running that outside, leading this race. Ryan Jones on the inside, Laura Wiseman in fourth, Zach Roethlisberger third. I'm sorry, I skipped him. And yeah, just side by side up here in the top 10. That second pack looks like it might be closing in a little bit. That is, not sure who is in that pack. Maybe Danforth? Yeah, Danforth is the lead car in this pack. The number 88 you see up front, that gold Napa car, with some help from Ryan Hinkle and Randy Gross.
Yeah, Chase Berry lost the draft to that group as well. He's back running back there with Jacob Phillips. Unusual to see that 46 doing this, but hey, his strategies really play off for him sometimes out here, but we will see. It looks like Cam Gillens just got lapped. He's actually the only car a lap down, so he's in that lucky dog position. He's going to get swallowed up into the draft here, so that's good on him. He has the speed, just kind of lost the draft, and you can see just how quickly you can go a lap down here if you're not in the draft.
It's very important to stay with that pack, and hey, at least for Cam, he was able to kind of tuck in there, and it looks like, at least as of right now, he's
he's
only
up to
one
race
in
pace.
that position.
Yeah, if anything happens, he will be the lucky dog. Our other drivers currently laps down is Jacob Phillips. He's 2. Nathan Gentry at 10. Looks like he finally pulled over and called it a night. Thomas Bergeron, who flipped over in turn 2, he's also out of the race. So we only got 2 DNFs right now, which is the 10 and the 86. So, and aside from that, all 22. Yeah, so we have 22 cars in the lead pack, right? Well, almost 22 cars in the lead pack here. Got about 18. And the other drivers are in their little second pack.
Yeah, one thing that we can do, we'll go back to James Danforth here, and we can pull up our corner tracker. See the car ahead of him, the last car in the pack, the main pack. You can see the difference in speed. It's gonna update. Just so right there, going into turn 1, it's identical speed. Middle of the corner, just a little bit slower, and we'll see on corner exit, it's just a little bit faster. So keep that up. They can maybe stay with that pack and try to catch on to them after the pit stops.
Yeah, I think based off of, like I said, they're 3.5 seconds back from the tail end of the main draft, which is Ellis Thomas. But yeah, I know the last lap, they were actually a little bit quicker that last lap than the lead pack. But if you notice the lead pack, with Ellis Thomas, they're all spread out. They're not even near each other right now. And that is going to allow these guys to catch up to them.
Yeah, we see kind of maybe a lazy line at the end of this lead pack. We got a car in the wall there. Who is that? The 49 of Devin Rowe. Pretty big contact. He's in the wall again there as well.
Yeah, it looks like he gave her a little kiss and then wanted another one. maybe the tire. Maybe these cars have. I know there's not too much tire wear, but I mean it is possible. I mean, after a long run, they kind of don't turn as precise as they do on the fresher tires, but they're getting it all bunched up here. But Brian Probst, Robert Probst, they're all lined up right now on that inside line. But Braxton Dewey's going to cut down on the inside. Woo! Very, very close, but he made it work. And he's going to regain the lead.
I'd call that threading the needle right there. He got back up there in front of Brian, and man, yeah, that 8 car is back up there. And yeah, I think, do we have the laps led? Yeah, it looks like only 6. It seems like he's been up there a little bit more, but it's because I'm on I'm on Chris. That's why. Okay, well, it's even less. Yeah, 5 laps led. It seemed like Braxton's been leading a lot of this race, at least early on. But yeah, he's back up there where he was earlier, and he's got some help from Brian Probst.
Oh, a little bit upset that seeing that 11 kind of missed turn 3 there a little bit. Almost looked like they were going to go 3 wide. I think it kind of spooked that outside line, and they fell back pretty quickly with that.
Yeah, I'm noticing it a little bit more and more the longer this run goes on, but there's a lot of wobbling around, shimmying for position in this top pack. And yeah, it makes you wonder if maybe they're starting to think about those pit stops and they want to, they're putting a little more pressure, putting the gas down a little bit more and trying to get in position.
Yeah, we just had, I know we missed it, but we just had 2 drivers come down pit road for a stop. That was Devin Rowe and Zachary Mitchell, and they're about to get swallowed up by the pack. As you can see, the 49 getting past, they just took their pit stop, so they might be good to the end of this race, but they were not linked up together. And, I don't know. See what the strategy is between these two, but man, I'd be afraid to pit outside of the pack right now.
Yeah, we see the 23 of Mitchell just going down to the apron, getting out of the way, letting the leaders go by. It's a smart move. Maybe they can link back up and try to draft back up to not lose too much more time here.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see when we're going to start seeing these drivers dip down pit road for that one and only kind of green flag pit stop, because it will make them to the end. We're past halfway now, as we have 24, coming to 24 laps to go. As I hear a couple of drivers calling in to go to pit. The only one right now is the 35. It's the only one we're seeing possibly making this stop now. We'll probably see a lot of drivers start moving to the bottom. Yeah, we do. We see Zach Roethlisberger move down to that bottom line. As we see Cam Gillens down there on pit road now. Yeah, you can see that bottom line starting to form up. We may start seeing some green flag pit stops here, Johnny.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, but hey, maybe not. That Forrest thinking maybe if I get a little better track position before we come in, but
let me recap here, right? Keep in mind, we did have that first yellow at lap 9, if I'm not mistaken, and Jacob Nickerson was one of the ones that did stay out. So he has about 9 laps less of fuel than the rest of these drivers that did go down pit road. And that's why we saw Devin go down pit road, as well as Zachary Mitchell, because keep in mind, they are the ones that stayed out on that last yellow. So they do have a lot less fuel. So we probably won't see pit stops for another 10 laps or so.
Yeah, that's when you get in, you start talking to people and you say, hey, if you pit early with me, I'll push you back up there. But yeah, that less fuel could play a factor for that 35 of Jacob Nickerson for sure. But we'll have to keep an eye on it.
Well, I know for certain if you hear like Braxton Deweese or Zach or Chris Smith saying, hey, I'm going down pit road, you're probably going to see the rest of the field follow them, right? It's been pretty much the 3 fastest cars of the field tonight. They've been making their way to the front, right? They're going to probably follow their lead.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you got to, those guys are some of the best, and yeah, their strategies are going to be important. And yeah, definitely do that. We do hear that Nickerson is pitting this time. He did call that out, so we'll have to see if anybody comes down with him.
I'm going to be honest with you, John. I think he's going to be a lone wolf going out pit road. The rest of these drivers do have a lot more fuel in the tanks than this 35 does. And it looks like, yeah, he's going to be the lone wolf on pit road, which is a bummer because he's not going to survive out there running by himself. Tough break for that 35.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Only thing he can hope for now is another caution, hopefully before he gets put a lap down for not having a draft. But back up front, Roethlisberger is back up here now. He spent a little bit of time near the, not the back, but like back end of the top 10. And he's worked his way back up on that outside line with the help of Rye Jones. And yeah, we got the Brooks on the inside. And yeah, I mean, everybody else is just kind of minding their P's and Q's up here. It's been a fairly tame race and pretty exciting stuff still, side by side for the lead all throughout it.
Well, just like we had talked in the pre-race, that pit road strategy is about to take effect. Hoping, I don't want to jinx it. But our lead pack, which originally was about 20 cars, is now dwindled down to 14 with those other drivers that dipped off pit road early due to fuel. And we have the other 4, they have not been gaining on this lead pack. They've actually lost 2 seconds since the last we spoke about them. So these 4 have to all pit on the same lap together if they want to maintain any shot at trying to catch this field and maybe capitalize on any mistakes that may happen on this pit stop. Because I'm gonna tell you what, pitting here is tough when you're pitting with about 20 people. So because the cars just scatter everywhere, and you gotta hold your line, make sure you're not overshooting it, make sure you don't lock them up, slam into somebody. Because one car spinning down pit road is gonna mess up a lot of people's pit stops.
Yeah, it definitely can be sketchy to say the least, but hey, it's what it proves the best plate racers when they can go down there as hard as they can and really just maximize that time on pit entry. Ryan Jones sideways up here with a little bit of a bad push from Chris Smith. It's like Zach Roethlisberger was able to clear low, and he pulled down in front of Brian Brobster.
Yeah, and then there's 35, Jacob Nickerson getting swallowed up by the pack after having pitting by himself. He should be able to maintain and keep with the pack if he's able to dip down and get the momentum back up. But I do anticipate probably seeing these drivers down pit road. I'd give probably, what, 8 more laps or so. So we'll say probably about 10 to go. We should be seeing that final pit stop. That's really going to make for an exciting finish.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I'm out there right now, I think I'm going as long as I can, just in case there's that caution.
The whole field minus the 3 up top, and Jacob Nickerson, they are all lining up on the bottom. We know pit stops are coming soon, so we're going to see who is going to survive these pits. I think pitting is probably harder than trying to survive this race because so much could go wrong to completely ruin your night, and it's all going to come down to this one pit stop. Yeah, I want to keep up with everything that's going on in the chat before the green flag, or before our green flag pit stops here. We got Evan Pienta saying, "Let's go, Caputo. Come on, Tony." Connor Lyons joined the chat. Said, "Chris, long time no see. What's up, guys?" Francis Gaming again saying, "Come on, Payday Racing. Let's go." I think the only person Payday Racing right now is Ryan Jones. The rest of them are about to get lapped. They're in the trial right now with Chase Berry and Jacob Phillips. So I guess Payday Racing is trying to stay alive right now by Ryan Jones, that 91 machine.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Chase yet, but he is wearing our heartbeat monitor. You can see at the top right. Pretty cool, calm and collected right now, running around in 19th place with yeah, it looks like he just has Jacob Phillips in tow, trying to maybe help his teammate not go an extra lap down, but yeah, it's inevitable because here comes the pack.
Yeah, and it looks like the whole field now is single file. Top 3 were able to slingshot past the leaders, and I'm anticipating we got one call out. The 88 looks like he's pitting, but 88 is in that second pack. The whole second pack has actually just pitted. Excuse me, I'm a little behind. James Stanforth, Ryan Hinkle, all those guys pitted, but man, they are spread way out. They have got to get collected as I hear the leaders calling in. So we got 91, the 8, 28. These guys are all pitting. So let's see. This is going to be an exciting pit stop. We're going to see. This is pretty much going to make or break if you have a shot to win this race tonight, is how good you make this pit stop.
Yeah, coming down the backstretch, we see the entire field is single file. I think this is going to be a very busy pit road, and we're going to have to see if they can survive it. It's going to be hard to do, but
yeah, it's going to be a matter of who wants to break the latest. They all fan out. Looks cool, calm, collective right now, and yeah, everyone survives on pit road. Great job by the team. Now they have to get single file and figure out where their stalls are, because you don't want to turn down into somebody pulling into your stall. And they're all coming in. You should see all no tire stops. Everyone should just be taking fuel only. It looks like the 8, Braxton Deweese, is going to take right side tires. Aside from that, yeah, Ellis Thomas took 2. and they're all fanning off pit road. But yeah, Ellis Thomas with a little bit of a slow stop there. Steve Vest as well. They're just peeling off pit road. They may lose the draft here. We'll have to see. But solid stop from everyone in that draft, and that main draft. But Ryan Jones came in first. Is going to leave first.
Yeah, we saw it there. It looked like Lee Campbell had the fastest stop. I believe that's what it said anyway. But it looks like he maybe lost a little bit of time. He's back here with Ellis Thomas. They're both just outside of the draft. They're going to have to really lock up here to keep that back.
They're done for. They are not just out the draft. They are way out the draft. They lost easily 2 to 3 seconds on that pit stop. They're going to have to bank on a yellow if they're going to get it. But the lead pack right now is split up into 2. You have a 5-car lead right now with Tony Caputo holding in tough in that 5th position. Great pit stop from Tony Caputo. Keep in mind, he pitted. He was the tail end just about of that lead pack, and he was able to come out in the top 5. So our top 5 right now, if they stay single file, it's going to be tough for that second pack to catch them. But right now, the numbers are in that second pack. So we'll see if, Chris Smith leading. Matt Kuntz. But that was a tough bump there.
What a great job hanging on to that thing. That was a nasty bump from the 5. And
I think we saw there was 2 different incidents. You on the screen seen that, but the exact same thing happened with Matt Kuntz and the 28 right behind him as well. Just shoving to try to gain that lead pack.
Yeah, hey, but they are there, and I think maybe that 56 of Jacob Phelps might help the second pack catch back up. They're going to be able to use his toe. They're going to go to the outside and maybe have a little bit of momentum to try to catch back up. It looks like, who is that? Matt Kuntz as the first one there. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a little work. As long as they stay locked up and get some good pushes, they might be able to get there.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. Right now, they are losing ground on that first pack, but I think it had a little bit to do with that incident that Matt Kuntz and Chris Smith had with getting a little bit sideways. But right now, they're maintaining about 1.5 seconds, now 1.6. So it's close. They're going to have that whole field's going to have to bunch up a little bit tighter to see if they get the run. You can see there, they gained about a 10th. Almost 2/10. All they need to do is get just a little bit underneath about a second from them, and that's when that draft will start taking effect, and they'll really start muscling their way up there. But the lead pack did just pick up another car of Chase Berry, who is going to be the first car lap down. Let's see if he's able to hold on to it, but that actually might help that second pack just kind of catch the sniff of that 46 car as he's trying to catch back up to the lead pack. But right now, the numbers are even.
Yeah, we see it here. It's it's staying about the same, and Chase is able to tow, grab onto the toe of that lead pack there, and yeah, that's going to put him as the lucky dog in case something does happen. But right now, 11 laps to go. Time is running out if you're the driver of that number 46 car.
Yeah, they crossed the line 1.6 seconds behind the leaders. That's not what they really want to see, but still plenty of laps here. 10 laps here is a long way, 11 laps is a long time at Daytona. But it sure doesn't feel like it when you're in that, well, it probably feels twice as long if you're that 91 machine who's leading this thing. He's just ready to see that white flag. He doesn't want to see that second pack catch that lead pack because that's going to double up the field. But it looks like they caught him. I think Chase Berry kind of made a little strategy call there. Looked like he just backed off a little bit and gave the sniff of Matt Kuntz there, that draft, and it caught him right up.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of strategy saying, hey, let's get more cars in the mix. If they take each other out, they're going to get my lap back. Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what I think. That's what he's banking on. He got them together and wants them to race it out because he needs a yellow. He's the only car. Well, him and Cam Gillens are the only car lap down, but Cam Gillens is not in the lead pack. He is. The only thing with him is he just needs to stay out of trouble if it does arise. But the battle back up front, Ryan Jones just threw the car to the outside line, blocked that top line's momentum. But Zach Roethlisberger, we've seen him be up front all night. Here he is, right behind the 91. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm impressed Robert Brooks right now in that 5. Tony the Tiger's machine. He's holding tough right there on that inside line. He's got Nick Chesseray right behind him. These guys are fanning out everywhere. 2, 3 wide.
Move from Zach Roethlisberger. Moves to the outside. He's able to get by Ryan Jones here. And he's got a familiar face behind him, Chris Smith, pushing him on that outside line.
You know, and I want to give a heads up to Ryan Jones, because once he realized that he lost that top line, he immediately took it to the bottom. So he didn't. I got stuck in that middle. You do not want to get stuck in the middle here. You'll fall all the way to the tail end.
Yeah, right now, 5 laps to go. 8 laps to go. I'm sorry. 8 laps to go. We are side by side for the lead. Ryan Jones on the inside. Zach Roethlisberger on the outside. And, man, it looks a lot like we've seen all night long, just side by side. Nobody can really pull ahead. And that's part of the draft package with these cars, but certainly makes for an exciting race for us to watch.
The intensity is ramping up. You're starting to see a lot more pushes. You see them get a little bit more squirrely on these bumps. And we're coming to, we just crossed the line, 7 laps to go. Anybody right now in this lead pack has the opportunity, well, except for Chase Berry, of course, to win this race. He's the only one a lap down, but man, you can see them. They're getting tighter and tighter in these corners. But who is going to get the pushes? We've seen on the bottom, Robert Brooks gave a bad push to Matt Kuntz, and it just upset the entire bottom line. It's going to spread them all out. Is now Braxton DeWeese is going to capitalize on that opportunity, go low to pass Zach here as they come out of turn 4. He has help from Brian Brobst in that 11, but Chris Smith, he is committed to that outside line. He's got Laura Wiseman right behind him. But here comes Ryan Jones, 3 wide on the bottom, right underneath Brian Brobst, and he's going to try to get underneath Braxton. He does. They're 3 wide into turn 1. Cannot say that these guys are not trying to fight for that lead spot already, as we got 6 to go. It's ramping up big time.
It really is. And we see Braxton getting stuck 3 wide in the middle. He's finally going to get in on that outside line behind Robert Brooks. You'll see if he's able to make another charge up there. It was an incredible move to get the lead there for just a moment, and then he got swallowed up by the pack of hungry dogs here. But
as it sits right now, I feel Chris Smith, Laura Wiseman are in the money seat. They're pretty much in control of this race right now. At any time they can move down. They're working together and just slingshot past the leader. But, Chris Smith, the veteran at these super speedways, he is right where he wants to be right now. Because that's where I want to be. Right there.
Yeah, coming down to it, hey, it is possible to make that high line work, maybe if you have some teammates, but it's a lot easier to stay up front than it is to get up front. As we see, Laura Wiseman help with Benson Weaver, see if we're able to get a little more side-by-side action here.
Yeah, Ryan Jones took it to the middle, not a very smart move, as he's the only one in the middle now, as he's going to have to fall back, figure out if he wants the top or the bottom. Tough break for the 91, trying to make that move, but the bottom was trying to get the momentum going, but it got all broken apart. Right now, the top line is the only one that seems like it's pretty much stable and, strong. But we'll see. 4 laps to go. Look at this run that Ryan Jones is getting that 91. Is he going to split the middle? He is, but again, by himself, he needs somebody to go with him if he wants to power through the front, because you get stuck in that, as they call the sucker hole. You can't do anything.
As soon as he pops back in line, Brian Brooks says, "Hey, it's my turn." He's trying to side draft Braxton DeWeese here, but I think it's going to just push him back. He's able to slide back in front of Ryan Jones, and hey, it was worth a shot.
Car up here, up against the wall. They're going to blow by him here as the 49 of Devin Rowe gets up high in the wall, attacks the wall a little bit, but he gets out of the way. We're still 2 wide all the way around, 3 laps to go. Again, still anybody's race, but right now Robert Probst and Zach Roethlisberger right now commanding the front lines here.
Yeah, that inside just not able to get back up there, but right now, I'll tell you, Robert's really good at these plate races, and so is Lara. And they're teamed up on the bottom. Looks like they're making a little headway and possibly going to be able to get side by side here coming into the tri-oval. We are back side by side for the lead. 2 laps to go.
Oh, and, Laura got a little bit loose off of the coming out of the tri-oval there. Kind of separated from Robert a little bit, but it looks like same thing with Chris and Zach. So they'll get them neck and neck as they come off the back straight or go onto the back straightaway here. It's really anybody's game, but that outside line gets that huge run. If anybody in the back's going to make a move, they need to make the move now. And there it is. Braxton Deweese is going to the bottom. Oh, he's going to actually pinch. He's going to pinch and use that side draft to his advantage here. Ryan Jones, gets a little loose behind him. They square away, but as we're coming to the line, this is going to be it, Johnny. White flag in the air. Who is going to win this race? We're going to see 3 wide through the middle. Ryan Jones pushing Brian Probst as Zach is going to block it. He does. Chris Smith is falling to the back. They knew that 28 was fast as these super speedways, so what do? Dump him on the last lap.
Come out of 2, just one straightaway.
Braxton gets sideways.
What a save. 3 wide throughout the field here.
There it is.
Probst.
Zach gets turned around. There's nothing he could do. Brian Probst still sideways. Ryan Jones gets him squared away. Ryan Jones now gets the lead as Brian Probst is around. Everyone's wrecking, and it is Ryan Jones is the only survivor of this race, and he is going to win the first race of the season. You know that's exciting. Slingshot Racing ARCA season race number 1 goes to Ryan Jones. Chris Smith survives the chaos. Looks like he may have been the one that turned Brian Probst. We'll have to go back and take a look at that wreck, but he gets ping-ponged through there, survives the wreck. Braxton Deweese also survives that wreck. Look at that. What a race. What a finish.
Absolute chaos on the last lap there, from Braxton about getting turned to Chris Smith. And man, it was just pretty much every position shuffled just on that last lap. We're going to move back and see if we can get a better look at exactly what happened here. We're going to go back a little bit further. Yeah.
Because it all started. So, what is this? This is turn 4, right? Yeah. Look at the heart rate on Chase Berry right now, 99. I think it's all started
exciting there at the end for Chase.
Yeah, I kind of all started in the exit of turn 2, but yeah, the Chris Smith. So Brian Probst makes this move right underneath Chris Smith, and that just pretty much leaves him out to dry. There's nothing he could do. Zach has to go to the bottom and kind of block the line, which he does. You can see here with that big shot, but going out of 2, unsure. We got to look at Robert Probst here and Braxton Deweese, because Deweese somehow ended up on the apron. Oh, Ryan with that push there. Yeah, right there. Kind of just hooked him a little bit. He was able to keep it going straight, but Braxton's going to lose all that momentum.
Yeah, he gets shuffled to the bottom there. No help. Everybody up top is flying at that point, and it looked like maybe a late move from Brian, or maybe he got a little contact from Ryan Jones.
I was about to say his car was completely upset because Ryan Jones was slamming that 11 to get him to the front. And I think Brian was more or less just trying to hold on to the car, and in the meantime getting pushed, and it just caught that left rear of that 4 machine and sent him through the grass.
Yeah, and then we see Yeah,
Oh,
maybe Ryan was maybe trying to help push him there, but just another bad bump, and it puts the 11
yeah,
sideways. Tony Caputo
yeah, but I think right
gathered
here,
it up, thought he had a
oh,
shot at the outside, and then some contact with Chris Smith, and Brian Brobst sets off the
yeah,
rest of the wreck.
the speed difference between the 11 and 28. There's just nothing the 28 could do. It's last lap, right? But yeah, that's a bummer. But and it's crazy too because if you think about it, right, the the guy that going across the stripe that got left out on the outside line is going to come home and finish second in this race. And then Braxton Deweese, who kind of got hooked into the apron, also survived that wreck. It almost seemed like getting left out to dry was kind of the winning strategy to finish up front.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And man, I'll tell you what, I'm definitely excited to hear from the top three here. We're going to go to a quick commercial break from Whiplash Sim Cams. All these cameras you see me fumbling through. Hey, a little rough night tonight for me, but we they were all provided by Whiplash Sim Cams, and they're great cameras. Really, really cool sponsorships. So we'll be right back on the other end for our victory interviews. All right, we are back. And yeah, first up is going to be third place finisher Braxton Deweese. Justin, I believe you got caught up with Braxton.
I did hear Braxton Deweese. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, man. That was a pretty chaotic finish there. And for a moment, you thought you probably had it in the bag coming off 2. And pretty much before you know it, you're back in 10th, but somehow pulled off 3rd place, man. Tell me, what did you have to do to make that happen?
Yeah, it was just all about trying to time up that run and trying to get to the front close enough to where I could at least try to shoot down like I did. The outside lane had a pretty good run when I shot down, tried to side draft Chris, so they could get a little bit of separation there for the lead in the top line, so the inside lane could come back down and it could carry me and we could go, and it was working out pretty well. Just we needed to go get a little bit farther. He was pushing pretty good there, just pushed a little too good, and we ended up spinning across the bumper, just wrong spot at the wrong time. Going back and looking at it, it was just the slightest, it's just the littlest of stuff. But I mean, when you're pushing aggressive in the corner, it just takes the littlest of stuff. I mean, I don't wish he would do anything else there because we're going for the last lap and he's pushing all he can. So, just wish we could have been a little bit straighter to where we could have stayed together a little bit longer there to see if we could have been able to have something there on the inside line. The outside lane was just the lane to be in with more of the run in general, but the car that was actually in front of him out of 4 ended up winning, which was Rye. So granted there was a wreck there at the end. It would have been interesting to see where we would have shook out there, but a P3 at Daytona for me in the Spark or Slingshot leagues is pretty good, so we'll definitely take that to start the year.
Yeah, 3rd place is definitely nothing to hang your head down about, especially after such a good race that we've seen tonight. But hey, man, before we let you go and celebrate the 3rd place finish, does anybody like the thing that got you here tonight?
Yeah, most definitely. I want to give a big shout out to the big sponsor on the car, Happy Hippie Karaoke. They actually have karaoke going on tonight. It's already started. It's from 9 to 12, and it's at Good Time Charlie's in downtown Mimesburg. Happens every Monday and Thursday, so we're going to try to get the car down there for Thursday. And as in car, I mean my Thunder Roadster, my real-life race car. You can see the pictures and videos on my Facebook, Braxton Deweese Racing. I also have some stuff on my Twitter and Instagram at Braxton D Racing for both. And So that's pretty cool to be able to take an actual race car to an actual sponsor location and be able to show people what a Thunder Roadster is, because a lot of people don't know what it is. I mean, I assume you guys probably might not know what it is, so you got to go check that out to see what it is. I have a video on my YouTube page of me racing at Winchester, so that's all a big shout to Happy Hippie Karaoke. He's one of the biggest supporters that I have, and if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be racing in real life right now. So appreciate him, and Interstate Ford, 3 Dips Ice Cream Shop, Steak Time, Deweese Reservations, Allen's Arts Images, Elevated TV, Paid Leave, Wooden Nickel Band, Short Track Report, Scrubbing Tires Media, Evan Pieta Designs, the Midwest Thunder Roadster Series, Ours Pizza, which is in Winchester, Indiana. I appreciate them for sponsoring the series at Winchester when we run there. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of the social media stuff. So if you go and follow the Midwest Thunder Roadsters on Facebook, all the social media and all the posts are pretty much going to be from me. I'm going to be like the head social media guy, I guess, over there. I guess I do an okay job enough with my stuff that I have now, so hopefully we can do pretty good there. But I appreciate everybody that tunes in, not only to my live stream, but the broadcast, and can't wait to go back and watch that crazy ending there.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'm definitely have to look into it because, I've been around racing a long time, haven't heard of that, so I'll definitely have to take a look at that. But man, again, congratulations on the 3rd place finish, and we're gonna see that 8 machine throughout the season.
Yeah, I sure as hell hope so. I believe we got Lime Rock next week, so we'll have to see how our road course skills are there. But hopefully the 70 banana car don't come out and stink up the show. I know he's pretty good at the road courses, but either way, we're gonna try to have ourselves a solid finish at the road course. We just gotta keep it on track. But I appreciate you, Justin and Johnny. Looking forward to go back and watch it, like I said, and can't wait to see how we do the rest of the season.
All right, man. Catch you later. And that was your 3rd place finisher there, Braxton Deweese. But Johnny, I think you got our 2nd place finisher and previous season champion, Chris Smith.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, Chris Smith, man, I'll tell you what. Kind of an up and down night. You stayed up in the top 5 or so most of this night, but yeah, take us through man, some of that intense pack racing we saw, and just I mean, the luck, I guess, at the end that you needed to come in with that 2nd place finish.
Yeah, it was intense all night, but I thought everybody, did a really nice job. Y'all know how this, ARCA super speedway package is. The runs are really fast, and there's a lot of things happening in the pack, but it was fun all night. Just tried to stay up there in those first couple rows. Try to put yourself in a good position to control your destiny. And right there towards the end, I kind of made the wrong move coming to the white, and I got hung out on the top lane there. I just didn't quite block the run coming quick enough, and we fell back to about 10th, and from that point on, it was just trying to, about missing the wrecks on the last lap. And unfortunately, I think I kind of caused one right there in 3 and 4. They were kind of moving all over the place, and I was trying to shoot the gap on, I think it was Brian, 4 wide there, just because, it was just total chaos, and everybody, had stopped really pretty much. So I kind of caused that deal right there in 3 and 4. So I just want to apologize to everybody that got caught up in that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's nothing to be ashamed of. You're going for the win, the last lap of the race, chaos ensues in front of you, and hey, you got to go for it, right? If you don't, you never know. So, yeah, nothing to be ashamed of there, man. But yeah, incredible race from all of you guys here tonight. It was it's really fun to watch. I know we had some technical difficulties up here in the booth, but we got it all sorted out, and hopefully we brought a good show to everybody. But yeah, next week, Lime Rock. Are you looking forward to that short road course as the 2nd race of the season?
Yeah, I'd say I'm looking forward to it. I originally wanted to run just a few races this season, and that was going to be one of them. I think Chase and I were talking about it a couple days ago. I think that he and I both got our very first iRacing wins at Lime Rock, and I'm sure a lot of people did because of being a free track and such a staple here on the service. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not the best road racer, but that's a fun track. So I haven't turned any laps there yet in one of these things, so we'll have to do a little bit of that before before race day. But yeah, I'm super excited and can't wait to get out there and tackle those right-handers.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Always a good show there. We have ran a little bit there, and it is a lot of fun in these cars. These things are great on road courses. So I think you'll have some fun with it. But yeah, before we let you go, the floor is yours. If you have any sponsors, friends, family, teammates, anything like that you want to shout out, have at it.
Yeah, I want to shout out my family watching at home if they're still up. Hope that they enjoyed the show. Shout out to you guys for bringing the show and persevering through some animosity tonight. I appreciate you guys and all your hard work and everybody at Slingshot TV. Shout out to the league sponsors, UD Awards, Stand Up Fight Series, Evan Pienta Designs, everybody that makes this happen. Shout out to Evan for getting this awesome paint painted up for me as well. My teammates, Ellis, Paul, Steve, we didn't really get a chance to work together too much tonight. Just circumstances didn't work out in our favor, but shout out to them for hanging out in the chat all night. And all the drivers out here for all their hard work, Randy for the race control, and yeah, I think that's it.
Yep, yeah, elite job tonight. Once again, go celebrate that second place finish, and we'll talk to you in a little bit for that race recap.
Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
All right, that was tonight's second place finisher, Chris Smith. Just one spot shy of doing the the three-peat at the plate tracks here in the ARCA series, but second place is still pretty good.
Yeah, it is. And I have got caught up with our race winner tonight. Ryan Jones, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that last lap was a bit chaotic. Coming across the line for the white flag, you were in 6th place. Tell me, how did you get that 91 machine to the front to take the checker tonight?
Man, I don't know. I held my breath that entire last lap, and I got dizzy at the end of it. Wow. I didn't really have a whole lot of help that race. Coming about 5-6 to go, the whole bottom lane just started to kind of lose its momentum, and the top lane started taking over, and I was stuck. And so I wanted to find a way to get to the top, and I did, but unfortunately I had to get in the very back of the top lane, and I just took my time and just kind of waited for the right move, see what people were making in front of me. And I could tell Brian was determined to get into the middle at some point. I could kind of see him trying to prepare himself to make the move at some point. I tried to make it to where he could see me, like, I'm gonna follow you and I'll push you all the way, because if we could clear the guys, if we take it 3 wide and clear the guys on the outside of us and then we run the outside, I think that was going to be the way to win, because the outside, you could just carry so much momentum on the exit of the corners. And, of course, coming to the white flag, everything's just getting hectic. We got the run, made it 3 wide, and I just didn't want to leave his bumper. And it just got kind of squirrely coming out of 2, and then we're just pushing as hard as we can. And I didn't realize how far – I can't see Zach in front of him. I can't see – how far ahead he is, so I'm on his bumper, just pushing as hard as I can, and I guess he didn't kind of square up that, and that got Zach's fun, and it got him loose, and I couldn't hold it anymore, and I was just hoping that we can just ride it on the outside in 3 and 4 and then race the finish, but he just kept getting loose, and Tony was right behind me, and then he jumped on the outside of me, so I just went to the bottom. There was an opening, and then everything just kind of broke loose after that, and I was just lucky to be in a position to win. So it was absolutely insane and unbelievable amounts of fun. These cars are probably the best cars to draft on by a mile on iRacing, and it was an absolute blast. And everybody, for the most part, did an amazing job.
Amazing job indeed. It was a great race to watch from up here in the booth, but coming out of the first race of the season, right? Leading the points, but keep in mind we're going from one of the biggest, super speedways, and now we're going to a road course. How are you feeling about going to Lime Rock next week?
I don't have a lot of laps there. I got some on some open wheel cars, but never really in a Cup car or ARCA car or try. I don't think I've ever raced one of these there, but it just takes some practice, and all I can look for is just to get, be consistent, don't make any mistakes, and just get as good of a finish as I can. I'm not expecting to go in there and win. There's a lot of good road racers that we have in SRL, and they deserve the credit whenever they do good there. So all I can do is just try and race like them and do the best I can, and go from there.
Well, man, again, before we let you go, congratulations on that win. But who would you like to thank that brought you here tonight to get this W?
I got to thank you guys. Put on a good show. Thank all the Payday guys and all the friends that get us here, and SRL for doing a good job. Say hi to my mom. She likes watching the races. Love you, Mom. Thank you for watching. Just everybody, that puts this together. This is the best league I've ran in, and it is an honor to race with them, and for everybody to allow me to race here, even though I've had my fair share of mistakes in the past. So I'm really grateful and appreciative of them.
Alrighty, man. We'll go celebrate with the team. We will definitely catch up with you later because, I want to celebrate with you too. That was a great win. I know it's been a long time coming, so it's good to see you win there, buddy. But
Yes, sir.
we will see you in victory lane. But Johnny, let me tell you, man, that was our race winner, Ryan Jones. Like I said, long time coming. He's seen a lot of speed out of that 91 machine all last season, won some preseason races. I mean, it was only a matter of time. I'm sure he's excited to see it be the first one. But I think you have tonight's winner of our drawing tonight of those that were watching.
Yeah, I believe we are going to go with Chris DeWeese. And I would say you can reach out to the email address, but we just happen to know your son. So maybe we'll reach out to him and we'll get all your information set up to send you that player card, that trading card pack. And yeah, thank you for chatting it up with us here tonight. Everybody else that joined the chat too. We appreciate it. Always a fun time, and yeah, we definitely we try to keep up with it. Maybe we could have done a little better tonight, but we were trying. We were going through it tonight. So, but
I think we caught everybody in the chat tonight.
yeah, I think you did. Yeah, with that said, we're going to move on to our race results here tonight. And, yeah, here we go. This actually works. Look at that. Yeah, so we just talked to the top three. Ryan Jones, Chris Smith, and Braxton DeWeese. And Robert Probst bringing it home fourth. He's running up to the top five, leading some laps all night long. Good run from Robert. Nick DeCesare coming home fifth in that number 00. Yeah, pretty strong run from him. We had Matt Kuntz, Brian Probst after, man, he had that thing in his sights going down the backstretch, and unfortunate, still coming home with a top 10 here. Then we have Benson Weaver, Tony Caputo coming home ninth, Zach Roethlisberger, another one that had a really good shot at that thing at the end, and his finish definitely doesn't live up to what he did tonight, because he put on a really good show all night long.
Sorry, Mike. I would kick it off, but my whole screen has went black, so
You're good. I will continue on then. Ellis Thomas coming home 11th in that number 38 tonight. Yeah, kind of rode in that lead pack all night long, and yeah, hey, survived that. Well, maybe he didn't survive the last wreck, but still coming home just outside of the top 10. Lee Campbell in the 14, coming home 12th. James Danforth 13th. Steve Vest with a solid run in 14th. We saw him up front a lot of the night early on, and yeah, respectable finish from Steve. We got Ryan Hinkle in 15th. Paul Thomas 16th. Jacob Nickerson 17th. Randy Gross comes home 18th. Laura Wiseman, another one that was up front a lot, ends up one lap down in 19th. Then we have Devin Rowe, our in-race reporter, Chase Berry, Zachary Mitchell, Cam Gillens in 23rd. Jacob Phillips with that early trouble without the front end still comes home only 3 laps down in 24th. Nathan Gentry 25th. Thomas Bergeron 26th. And rounding out the field is my co-broadcaster, Justin Wilson here.
Yeah, I brought the car, but they told me I couldn't race. I had to come up here with you.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. I needed you tonight. Definitely, yeah. Hey, we recovered, and yeah, I'll tell you what, we got some more action coming at you right here next week. We're heading to Lime Rock. 52 laps there. That short road course, man, it is so much fun. Coming over that hill, like wide open sideways. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch these ARCA drivers, see what they have on the road course. Then we're going to head to Iowa, followed by Kentucky. Then we have an off week. We'll come back for Las Vegas, Portland, another road course that's a lot of fun. And then another plate track at Talladega for the 7th race of the season. Then we'll head to Michigan, Charlotte, Pocono, Bristol, and then we're going to round everything off at Kansas. And I got to ask you, Justin, out of all these tracks you see here, which one is the one that you would have circled?
Aside from super speedways, which, right, I would say Iowa. I enjoy Iowa. Iowa's one of those good short tracks where you can have, tire wear is going to really take effect. I know a lot of drivers are going to have Michigan circled. A lot of drivers have a lot of speed there. I could tell you one I have a huge X over. Actually, I don't even need to tell you. You already know which one it is.
I think we all know it. Your hatred for Kansas is pretty strong, and hey, I mean, it's pretty justified. I'm not going to lie. But,
yeah, it's always the last race on the schedule.
Yeah, I know. Well, it used to be in the real ARCA. I think that's why we did it. But either way, it'll still be a good show the way these cars drive. And the last show we had there was pretty good. So.
And I think it won't be so bad because usually the only reason I like Kansas as much as I do is just because of the top line track. And I think with these ARCA cars, it's a bottom feeding track. So it'll definitely change it up.
For sure. Yeah, coming up this week right here on Slingshot TV. Don't mind the first one there. That is tonight's race. But Wednesday night, the Stand-Up Cup Series, race number 3 at Bristol. You can watch both me and Justin racing in that one, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Got to try and maintain my third place in points.
That's right. And then Thursday night, the Mystic Racing League Fall Creek Plumbing National Series, the Xfinity cars. I believe it is round number 3 of the playoffs at Charlotte. That is the Roval, and that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. There's Mystic Racers have put on a lot of incredible shows at the road courses so far this season, and definitely looking forward to see how they handle the twists and turns of the Charlotte Roval. Yeah, so you can catch all that right here on Slingshot TV. We want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, everybody in chat. Congrats to Rod Jones on the win and Chris DeWeese on winning the trading cards tonight. And yeah, tune in next week, and we hope to see you there. Get in the chat and like and subscribe and all that stuff. We really appreciate it. For Justin Wilson, this has been Johnny Rapp in the Slingshot TV booth. We will see you next week.
but you know I can't stop now. Can't wait to throw in the towel. It ain't looking real good, but I won't give up. Pac said that I gotta keep my head up, so I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Demons all around, but I ain't got no fear. Stay down, this time they packing down the gun. This will blow, but these roots are deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog. I won't be deep. In the fire now, but I won't be burned. I was waiting for this, and now it's my turn. Spit on my face, blood in my eyes. Been underground, now I aim for the sky. Don't quit now, you can last longer. All these wounds only making you stronger.